Pule, Letshwiti-Jones being outside court, following through with some of those, protests and marches that were, of course, expected. G4A's employees, or at least former G4A's employees at that, marching, saying they do have a memorandum of understanding. They are disgruntled, not too happy, of course, with certain circumstances with the organization. Let me touch base now with my colleague Pule, just to find out exactly how, of course, it's going from where he stands. And Pule, once again, I mean, earlier on you spoke to one of the former employees saying they were not too happy just in terms of the officers with the company. How's the march going? Is it still ongoing?
Well, it was a handful of former G4S employees who actually attended the march. We're currently now stationed at the Mangaung Correctional Center. I'm just going to show you a picture is some of the Metro police officials and, of course, members of the SAPS who were accompanying the members, or rather the former G4S employees as well. As I'm about to walk, I will show you on my left-hand side as well. You can see there are police officials who are ensuring that there isn't any chaos that unfolds here at this particular entrance where we are at the gate. We are being told they're waiting for an official from the Department of Correctional Services who will then hand or receive rather the memorandum from the former G4S employees. But let me chat to one of them here who joins me right now. Mr. Boy, sure. Let's just have a chat here quickly. Thank you very much once again. Just tell us, what is the latest so far? It seems as though you were upset with the fact that the mandated official who was supposed to expect your memorandum won't be doing so, you won't be receiving it.
Somehow I'm not surprised. Not really. Somehow I'm not surprised as it is unfolded like that. We inform people in time that we are coming. We even forwarded an email. So when we arrived here, we just been told that the HR director is the one that will be coming here, and the HR director is the one that is working for G4S. Now, if the HR director is the one that is coming, this mandate is talking against him, and then this memorandum, is talking to him. Now, we are told that he's the one that is coming to accept this memorandum on behalf of DCS, whereas we expected DCS to come and take the memorandum. And you'd recall, as we came around, that we were escorted even by Kumbi, H1 Kumbi, which had DCS officials in it. Now, my question was, why are they not making sure that their colleagues, as they knew that we are coming, they prepared for us? Even if you can take a look, you see that this march was known that it was coming. They're already standing there prepared because they are aware that you're coming to hand over a memorandum.
Yep. Okay, so are you also not disappointed with the turnout of some of the employees? It seems as though you were expecting more numbers, but it's just a handful of members as well. The momentum, as expected, didn't deliver.
Look, disappointment we have to make room for, but the work still has to continue. It would have been beautiful for a number of former employees, number of community members, number of all people that are concerned with what's happening in the country currently. However, if none of us are prioritizing these important issues, there's nothing that we can do. So even if you have this number that we see here, we're still going to hand over this memorandum and make sure that the voices that are here are heard. So the turnout is not as I would have expected it, but I accept it because I'm not heard. I still have to do what I have to do. I still have to hand over the memorandum.
Remind the viewer again, what are some of the demands you've put here, or rather dotted down? What is it that you want DCS to be responding to when you hand over the memorandum this morning?
Okay, no, that's a question.
Just two or three.
Two or three is fine. These people are hoping for an extension. It was reported to us they are hoping for an extension. Remember, they were supposed to be leaving when? August.
Yeah.
But they applied for extension, and we feel as if DCS is considering to give them an extension up until January 2024. We are against the extension. These people have committed a crime to this public. So this extension cannot be allowed. They have to leave, and the DCS must literally take over. No more acting. They must literally take over. And then absorb the employees that are working here. Create job opportunities for other community members in different things. And then they have to be litigated. We are calling upon the Department of Correctional Services on behalf of the community to litigate these people with the crimes that they have committed against this community. Remember, the inmate in question is a rapist and a murderer. He went out this gate, he moved down, and he passed the very same community that you saw where we were standing. And what if something bad could have happened to someone of them? They felt even to report it to the public. So for them to have an extension, it cannot be there. These are some of the points that I feel they need to be addressed by DCS.
Okay. Thank you very much. We will, of course, be expecting that official who will be collecting your memorandum, and we'll be talking to you just a few moments from now. But Dumelo, where we are currently is the entrance of the Mangaung Correctional Center. We're still waiting for one of the officials who will be receiving that memorandum. But of course, there is quite a few issues there that have been, penned onto that paper by the former G4S employees, saying that these demands need to be, considered by whoever will be collecting that memorandum any moment from now.
Of course, as we leave where you are right now, Pule, let's head back inside court, where, of course, Silindelo Masikane is inside. She's been following through those court proceedings inside, looking at what the magistrates will decide on. Amongst others, though, accused include former G4S employees. Lee, once again, let's reflect on what was, I suppose, decided in both court appearances, where Thabo Bester was appearing virtually and where we saw, of course, that physical appearance by the other co-accused.
So initially we saw Thabo Bester appearing in a separate courtroom which can allow for a virtual appearance. His previous legal representation recused themselves from the case, saying that they don't have any further instructions, and immediately thereafter we heard from Bester's new legal representative who had had a consultation with him prior, stating that they agreed to the postponement dates. However, there is a request from his new legal representative that he be appearing physically in that next appearance. So that is what's going to happen. Bester will have to be transported from the Hosimampuru prison on the 8th of August to make the next appearance. We then quickly moved on to the appearance of 8 others, of course, who've been implicated and arrested as well. We know that 2 of those people have been released on bail. That is Zolile Sekeleni, accused number 2, and Anastasia Jansen, accused number 8. We also saw very brief proceedings there, in essence, where the legal representatives agreed to the postponement dates, but also we heard from the state prosecutor, who told the court that the date of the 8th of August was for further investigations into some documents, as well as the possibility of at least 3 more arrests in this particular matter. We also then saw an application by the lawyer representing Zolile Sekeleni, who's Dr. Nanipa's father, who had asked the court if Mr. Sekeleni would perhaps be allowed to skip the next appearance. There was a back and forth between the magistrate as well as Mr. Sekeleni, and I think if I just move towards the courtroom, I'm going to ask Tammy to walk with me. We may still see, actually, in fact, in the court precinct, we do see Zolile Sekeleni having a meeting or a consultation with his lawyers, and the exchange between the magistrate as well as his lawyer was about the fact that he lives in Port Edward, which is more than 1,000 kilometers away from the court, and his lawyer felt that it would not be fair, in essence, to have him appearing here just for another postponement. And so there was, a back and forth in terms of trying to understand how that would work, and the magistrate really saying that he does not see that to be fit and proper, because Mr. Sekeleni needs to be warned to come to court, and if he isn't in court, then that can't happen. So Mr. Sekeleni will have to appear on the 8th of August, that application, of course, being denied. So what we're seeing now, of course, is that legal representatives will be consulting meeting with their clients over the next couple of weeks. And of course, we will be monitoring those developments quite closely in terms of what we can see in those arrests. Will it be more employees from G4S? Will it be more high-ranking officials? We're all kind of asking ourselves right now who else will be taking to the dock come the 8th of August.
Also, Asli, we saw that Zanda Moyo has also abandoned his bail application as opposed now, following through with Nandi Phamagudumana, who at this point still has reserved her right to apply for bail.
Certainly. So we saw another lawyer coming on record as well today, representing accused number 9. His name is Bonolo Thebe. Bonolo Thebe is officially on record for Zanda Moyo, the Zimbabwean national who was arrested about 2 weeks ago. And he has actually abandoned his bail application. So he will not be making any application to apply for bail, but his lawyer telling the court that he would be checking whether or not he had any previous convictions, but at this stage it doesn't seem as though he does have any. We're also, of course, awaiting confirmation from the National Prosecuting Authority on whether or not they have verified the status of his citizenship in the country. So at this point, those are some of the aspects that are going to be ventilated, that are going to be investigated by the NPA and the police over the next couple of weeks, as of course the main matter having been postponed till the 8th of August. And so at that date, we will have all 9 accused in the dock, if of course there are not any more arrests between then.
Yeah. If you may allow me as well, Carly, just to take you back to that virtual appearance by Thabo Bester, it's just interesting, rather to hear that we can expect a physical appearance this time around. We know previously security concerns have been at the heart of why Thabo Bester, at least being given as reasons as to why he hasn't been appearing physically. But it seems that he can also be expected to not only appear physically, but also going back to what his previous legal team had mentioned with regards to those physical consultations with their client in the courtroom being essential. I suppose at this stage, from the 8th of August, that will be possible.
That is the possibility. The magistrate did indicate that he should be appearing physically per the request from his legal representative. But I think what will be interesting to see is whether there'll be any application or objection from DCS itself in terms of requesting another virtual appearance. We know that today's appearance was an agreement between the NPA and DCS for him to appear virtually, but now that he's got a new legal representative who's requested that he come physically, it will be interesting to see if there is any apprehension to that or an application to object to that, given the safety and security concerns, but also the distance, especially if it is going to be another postponement for another provisional date. So at this stage, as it stands, he should be appearing physically on the 8th of August.
All right, we'll leave it there. eNCA senior reporter Silindelo Masikane just at the back of the adjournment of court proceedings out of the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. The proceedings, of course, being postponed to the 8th of August, another month for those investigations to be still ongoing, taking place there as, of course, we understand more arrests may be imminent in this Thabo Bester escape saga. But at this stage, of course, we understand that all accused may be, of course, expected to appear physically in court on the 8th of August.